Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading, and this is for the end of the month of June. Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Virgo, we all have a little bit of Virgo in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Virgo in, that could show you where this information shows up for you. This is a timely reading, as I said, so it means you're watching it at the perfect time. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? Sorry, I'm just making sure you can see this properly. All right, we do have the Nine of Cups for the underlying energy for the entire reading. And this is talking about you're highly favored to receive these 9 cups, but you have to remain focused. And so this could represent someone that is on a stage. Now, this could be your energy, or it could be someone else's energy that's associated with this reading. And they've got their feet turned outwards like this in body language. I mean, you think about if a car was to move forward and their wheels were on like that, you wouldn't be able to get up that easily. So this is like a weak position for the feet to be in. It can cause leakage from the base chakra, which is about your survival. So this is talking about the body language is a little bit incongruent here. We have an infinity symbol with the arms here. Normally, if arms are crossed like this, it means that you're kind of closed off. But with it being an infinity symbol, I feel that it's kind of almost like a genie. It reminds me of that. We have these cups. We don't know if they're in the past and they're behind him. Are they in the present? They're right above his head, or are they forward? And this is in the future. So this person's on stage and his body's a little incongruent because he knows that he hasn't ended the race yet. And many a race is lost in the last lap. So he has to maintain his focus to be able to receive these 9 cups. Now in tarot, cups represent love. And then we have the High Priestess energy, and she's sitting in between these 2 extreme pillars. All of this in the background is a bunch of information. Information equals energy. The more information you have, the more energy you have. And it can become overwhelming. Like you may have noticed these days, sometimes it's overwhelming, all the information that we're faced with, and then to make the right choices with that information. So this is talking about what is real and what's not real, that sort of thing. What the High Priestess does is she uses she disciplines her mind to be quiet, and she goes inward and feels what's going on. And a lot of times people will confuse the brain with the mind, but the brain is basically your central nervous system, and your mind is, separate from that. So the brain as the sensations you feel in your body, and those sensations will tell you whether you're energetically aligned with energy or you're not. And so she is very good at doing that. And this is using her intuition then to know which of the many answers that are here is the best one for her at this time. And that requires getting neutral to the information, so your emotions and you're not overthinking it. She's sitting in between 2 major extremes here. We've got Jesus on one side and the devil on the other. Can't get much more extreme than that. And so this is talking about, she's very joyful because she follows the cycles of the moon and knows when to use her intuition when it's the sharpest. So she generally has the answers that she needs. And this is talking about your internal forces. So this energy is saying use your intuition more. And look at this. We have the 10 of Cups here after this 9 of Cups energy coming in to begin the reading. This is the overlying energy, and this is your internal forces. You're feeling like, this is representing the Ten of Cups represents ultimate fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. It's like having the love for and from your best, your companion, your children, your pets, right on cue, Stella, and where you live, you love where you live, you enjoy your neighbors, you have the career that you love, and you have the clients and the co-workers. All of that is a promise. There's a rainbow here, and quite often this is like a promise after going through major hardship to have this ultimate fulfillment. And you have to remember, in a perfectly imperfect world. Will it always be absolutely perfect? Probably not, but close to it. Now, this is talking about the Queen of Pentacles energy. Now, she is sitting on her throne, and she's very focused on the Pentacle energy. Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. She is known to be very resourceful and is admired for her ability to make something out of nothing. She's more concerned with quality than quantity. And so this is talking about generational wealth, legacy that's passed down from one generation down to the next. And so this energy, what I've been asking is, if she comes from generational wealth, what happened to her wealth? Why does she have to be so frugal? I've been asking this question because it's bugging me. And then, and we're starting to get answers through the readings. This is talking about a never-ending nightmare, basically. So this energy can represent like someone waking up in the wee hours of the morning, and it's like the same old nightmare they have over and over and over again. And this is talking about a very overactive mind that just is, this is the Nine of Swords. Swords in tarot represent the element of air, and so they represent your thoughts. And your thoughts come from your mental intelligence and your mind and your discipline of your mind, what your thoughts are about. Like the Queen the High Priestess, she's able to use her intuition and feel what's strong for her energetically, because she quiets her mind through meditation, prayer. And, this energy is talking about waking up and from a nightmare, or it can sometimes talk about after doing a lot of meditation and prayer and asking God for guidance, that all of a sudden the information starts coming into you, and this is enlightenment that this person is receiving, which generally is in the wee hours of the morning. And this is talking about the steps of action that are needed to be taken, or the thoughts to start the steps of action. Instead of it being like a hamster on a wheel, now it's actually showing, okay, take these consistent steps of action. And this person may be just doing their best to remember what the dream told them. Quite often our ancestors will visit us in our dreams, or the Holy Spirit will come to us in the wee hours. Now, I've noticed that this person is laying on a bed frame where there's people fighting with swords carved on it. Check what's under your bed. If you have, a lot of people store things under their bed. You want to make sure that what's under your bed is not causing you, like if you have photos of people you don't like or whatever, and you didn't know what to do with them, you don't want that under your bed. You want, if you have to, like, I understand being in a smaller space, you may need the storage space, but make sure that what you store under your bed isn't going to cause anxiety. The blanket on the bed here is a quilt with cosmic symbols on it, and it's saying you have, the universe has you covered. But you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to get out of bed and put these thoughts into action if you want to see a change. And then we have the Temperance, which is about having the patience to be on your destined journey, which sometimes can be more difficult than taking the easy way out. It appears to be easy in the moment, and maybe in the moment it is, but down the road it can become a problem. And so Temperance is when you control your emotions. Again, it's talking a lot about this in this reading. This is considered to be earth angel energy, this card. So in the Bible it says that God sends down 144,000 angels to make the world a better place. This energy is representing that energy. This angel is, mixing alchemy, chemistry, back and forth, and then she's got her right foot in this universal pond, and this pool of water is her adding her special element and then taking that and adding her unique qualities to the universe. And she has her foot grounded on, her left foot is grounded on earth, and this is about creativity. And look at where she has her left foot grounded, there's already flowers growing in that spot. And this is the path of glory with the sun in the background, is showing that that's when you're staying on your destined path, that God, like God's plan. And we have the 8 of Wands, or swords here. So again, this is that same energy, standing up now. At least she's out of bed now. And there's one less sword. So this is talking about, see, I feel that in tarot, when they show water like this, it's talking about emotion. And I feel at one point there was way more water here. She is feeling duty bound. There's nothing really physically holding her in this position, but yet she does not feel like she can physically move forward as of yet. And she can't see where she's going, or doesn't want to see where she's going. And this is also talking about, she does have her left foot forward, and it's on dry land. That's why I feel at one point there was way more emotion. She's managed to put 7 of these thoughts behind her. And now, she's just got her left foot in that puddle there. And it's very shallow. So I'm not saying her emotions are shallow, but there's way less emotion than there was before. So she's disciplining her mind to be quiet. She's making sure that she quiets her emotions so that she can feel, okay, what is the best of these thoughts? Which one is the best one to move forward with? And this requires using her central nervous system, which is your brain. That your central nervous system is your nervous system. And so that's very different from the mind. And then this is talking about her castle in the background here. Her castle in the background, she has her back to it. Sometimes this can represent feeling duty bound, because no matter what decision you make here, it's going to affect people you care about. And you don't want to have to do that, but you have to, because you're duty bound. And so I feel she's about ready to take this one sword that's in front and cut herself free and do what she has to do here. And then we have this energy talking about a major transition happening here. Death. A lot of people get afraid of this card, but really it's not about physical death. That's not what it's meant to be about. It's about transition from one cycle into another, and quite often like death to rebirth. And so that could be the end of a business that you're in, but now you're moving into a new business. This could represent, you were in a relationship, but it has now come to an end, and you're getting ready to go into a new relationship. When you think about death and rebirth, they're very, very similar. This is talking about the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel, this flag. And when you consider, when you're born, you go through the tunnel to the light. And when a lot of people who have had near-death experiences talk about going through the tunnel to the light. The difference is you might be caught by a couple of idiots when you're born, because you don't come with a manual. And when you, on the death cycle, you're caught by God, and God does know exactly what to do with you. So this is talking about you don't need to fear the cycle. This is a natural course of events. And this is talking about the older person here is trying to barter with the Grim Reaper, saying, we don't want your change coming into town. The younger people are, yes, there's finally something new in town. And even one of them wants to give the Grim Reaper a flower and say, thank you for coming here. We want the promise of change. We want to bloom. And the king underfoot here, he's been trampled, but it's not representing an actual king. What it's representing is systems that are cracking, We're seeing a lot of that right now. And so it's just talking about things moving. And I've been forgetting to say this in the readings, and I just realized this because this is the end of the month of June. We do have the solstice on the 21st, which is the longest day of the year. It's considered the very first day of actual spring, or summer, I mean. And so this is the longest day and the shortest night. And so I just want to point that out, that we're moving towards that energy as well. This is talking about how you actually feel, your abundance. Why are you having to be so resourceful if you come from generational wealth? And this is talking about the energy of your childhood. You might have had a lot of nightmares when you were a child. Sometimes there's something called night terrors, and night terrors are like when you're walking around and sleepwalking with your eyes open, but you're having a nightmare. And so sometimes this can be karma and leftover trauma from your past life, or from a past life situation. If you don't believe in past lives, think of it as different dimensions of reality that you may be in a dream sleep on. And then we have temperance here, and temperance is talking about, as I said, that this is the energy of your emotional foundation. Now, the emotion of your home. We do have a full moon coming up on the 29th, and that is in the sign of Cancer. I'm going to do a reading on that. But basically, the full moon in Cancer is about achievements and in your private life, like your domestic side. And then this is talking about this is in your creativity, romance, and children. If you're in this place, like, you're going to be stuck. You're not going to be able to move forward into new energy. If you're stuck in this old energy. To be able to get this, you need to walk out of this. And I feel that's what you've been working on. And then you'll probably find that the nightmares settle down and you don't have them anymore. But this, sometimes your destiny, it's your soul speaking to you when you're having those nightmares. And it's just showing you, dreams are very symbolic. They're not necessarily about what they're presenting as. And so this could be just talking about difficulties of coming into when you're born, coming into the situation that you're in. And then we have this energy of the daily routine habits and that. And it could be saying there could be a big transition. Like, the energy from this to this is huge. And even from this to this, So let's see what the external forces have to say. So you'll know it's an internal force because you'll be saying, what if this happens? What if they do that? What if I do this? What if, woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. You have control over the internal forces. The external forces, you don't have control over all of them, of course. You can't control the economy in the whole world and all of that. But you can't control whether people love you or not. But you can, or what they say or what they do. But you can control your response or your reaction to it. And it's always better to respond to whatever's going on around you rather than to react, because then you're going to have more control on it. So the Hermit is talking about, this is the best thing you can do when you're in this situation, is the Hermit represents an energy of going to the top of the mountain to isolate. And when he has his lantern full of the light of the North Star energy, then he knows, okay, it's time to come down from the mountain and take steps of action. He's asked for God's help. What do I need to do here? And goes inward and doesn't come down from the mountain until he knows, has a clear picture. Oh, okay, this is the next move that I'm going to make. This quite often is after a dark night of the soul, when someone has gone through something that's been very stressful. It could be something that's rocked your foundation. We have the Page of Wands coming in. And now this is, the pages represent information and communication coming in. And they would work for the king and queen like around 7 to 14 years of age, which may sound really young, but back in those days, you have to remember that people only lived half as long as that we do now. This wand is representing the element of fire, and the wood feeds the fire, and this is about taking passionate action. And so the page, he's got a feather in his cap. It's a real coup to get a job working for the king and the queen in the palace. And his main thing is running communication and information back and forth within the palace walls, and also, running small errands and tasks. And this energy, this is someone who's really enthusiastic. This is a real coup, as I said. He's got that feather in his cap, and he's dressed to the nines, basically. And the pyramids in the background are representing his love of, being, exploring the world and gaining knowledge, and enthusiasm for life, passion to wake up in the morning and woohoo, I wonder what's coming today, kind of energy like that. And so this is talking about the promise of this passion coming in. And this is in your commitments, partnerships, and spousal energy. So this is talking about this love that we're talking about is, we're talking about this as an external force that is coming towards you. Now, with the page, when he gets older, if, he's still there by around the age of 21 when he's an adult, if he has enough money to pay for a horse, he may even be considered for knighthood. And then he would work, traveling far and wide and protecting the kingdom, etc. This energy, the information in the old days, this would always be a male. But these days, this energy could definitely be a female and in their masculine energy. All of the characters in the tarot are archetypes, so they're not gender specific. They are more about masculine and feminine energy. And so the Page of Wands, when he delivers communication these days, it's not always going to be in person. So you don't have to, like, if you're thinking, oh, it has to be someone to show up, in person. No, it could be a phone call. It could be a text message. It could be something that comes in the mail, a delivery of flowers, since we're talking about passion here. Someone maybe has their eye on you and wants to ask you out. This could represent an energy of, an email. It could be, you could be on one of the many social media platforms, receive a message, and move forward in that way. So this energy is talking about being able to move forward in youthful exuberance. It can also give you a clue if you are waiting for some communication or information, or something comes in and you don't quite understand it. This can be talking about it's a time frame in your life, maybe that it's someone or something that happened when you were in elementary school, high school, or about, just starting out in college and university, under the age of 21. So if you think back to what was going on then in your life, that's what this information could be about. Don't mind my cat. Stella is, she likes to sit on my lap and purr, and she's got happy feet right now. She's really into this reading. That's always a good sign. So this is new passion coming in from the external forces. So that's awesome news. We have this promise of these cups of love coming in. Your tail's getting in the way, Stella. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a reward for a brand new energy coming in. And this is a reward for staying on your divine path. And I feel like it's saying we're going to find out what happened to those pentacles. Like, why does she have to be so resourceful? And this energy is talking about the path of glory and being on it. So you're being rewarded for following your North Star, for asking for assistance, and then following that assistance after a hard time. And then we have, this is instead of being closed-minded. But it's also talking about, I'd say this is talking about being closed-minded. It's very similar to this energy. But now you're down to, like, you've taken action. This is much less than this. But this is saying now you might be struggling just with two answers, and it's either this or that. And this is saying, again, open yourself up to your intuition. And you notice that the body language is very similar to this here. Same energy here, leaking energy because of this, but her arms are up high and they are covering her heart. And this is saying her heart, she feels vulnerable and she doesn't feel like she can open her heart up to the energy. Her right arm is holding her left arm back, and it's talking about her logic not wanting to let her intuition in. It's saying you need to open up to your intuition as well as your logic to be able to make creative solutions. And the blindfold can represent that, that she's working, she's meditating and right now, and she's doing her best to quiet her mind and come to her feeling. But sometimes this also can represent the energy of, there's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. And that is talking about, when we, people say, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. But the thing is that if you see it, you're really not seeing the full spectrum of light. The human eye can only detect a thin band in the full spectrum of light. So we think we're seeing everything, but there's things that we can't see. Like my cat, for instance, she can see things that I can't. She has different eyes. You may have noticed cats kind of have a very different pupil from us. So you're a funny girl. So she's, she when certain readings come, she's like this. She's just like all like really, really happy energy right now. Her feet are going, when a cat's feet go and they purr like this, it can really raise the vibration. And so it can literally lower blood pressure, which I figure isn't bad for the readings. You won't be able to hear her probably because I do have a noise canceling mic on. I have a lot of construction around me right now. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles always reminds me of Nikola Tesla. This is, he was a genius and an inventor. And he talked about the beauty of the 369. And I feel this is a ratio that he was talking about of understanding the give and take, basically, of the universe. And this is talking about, she has her hand on 6 pentacles, and then she has these 3 behind her. And she's at pre-Empress energy. So in the tarot, the Empress is in the major arcana, and she represents the having earned the qualities, like she has the qualities of all 4 queens from the minor arcana, just from all the experience she's picked up in Earth. And right now she's working on this pentacle energy for sure. This is representing this energy. Now I feel this is more like, this is the energy that, abundance for you is supposed to be in. Why is it here? That's what I'm asking. And why is she being resourceful when she should be here? But we have this reward coming in after this, and this is in commitment, partnerships, and spousal energy. This could represent the reason why she's like this. If you have just gone through something with a significant other, or it can represent people that are in your inner circle, like partners in business, people that you work with, peers at work, family members. You might even be involved in a family business of some sort. So this is talking about the pentacle energy. And then we have the, this is transition. So this transition coming in is the abundance increasing. Here we have it here. This is after doing consulting with God. So now this is talking about, she understands, she has learned the give and take. Sometimes the hard way, apparently, which is usually the way. And she has her hand on, she knows that she needs this 6 pentacles to look after her responsibilities in her personal and business life. And she has her hand on that. The 3 behind her are just talking about having an energy of, this is spare. So maybe one she uses for charity, another one maybe saving up for a holiday, and maybe this one is for more risky investments so that she can increase her financial portfolio. But if it's not successful, it's not going to affect her ability to be able to pay her bills. And the falcon there represents the foresight to be able to see that. This is about understanding that if you don't look after yourself, you're not going to be able to look after others. And this is talking, and look at, we have the soulmate coming in. So this card's been coming in a lot. I feel this might have to do with the fact if you've been on my, if you've been, you know, watching a lot of my videos, astrological videos. I've been talking a lot about on June 9th, Venus and Jupiter were together in the sign of Cancer, and that a lot of astrologers were saying that was the luckiest day for love and money in the tarot, and or in not in the tarot, in the year. So it was the luckiest day of the year, and then also some were saying it was the luckiest day of the decade for love and money. And so this energy is coming in. A lot of people that were focusing on that. Okay, that's what I want. It doesn't have to come in on the 9th. It's an energy that's coming through. Jupiter is the most generous planet, and Venus is in charge of love. And this soulmate card has been coming up a lot, and it represents a soul contract to be with someone, to hook up again in the 3D at some point in your lifetimes. And so this can, you know, talk about definitely the light at the end of the tunnel. The soulmate energy is each of these people are balanced in their masculine and feminine energy. They don't need each other. They just enjoy each other. And it's a healing energy. The Hermes symbol here is representing that healing energy. And it's also talking about a strong connection to God, to source energy. So I call that HSN, the higher self network. You know, it's like being online, except you don't have to log on. So you're on HSN 24/7, whether you're aware of it or not. You have that connection to source energy. And then we have justice. So there is some sort of justice. I feel it's about this pentacle energy. We'll get to the bottom of it sooner or later here. The justice symbol is talking, you know, she's wielding a sword also here. And this is talking about redemption from karma a lot of the time. It's talking about justice from the spiritual realm coming through. And that's this thin veil here is representing the thin veil between the spiritual realm and the physical world. And so this justice is coming in one form or another here. And it's talking about hidden secrets coming out. Sometimes this can represent karma, redemption from karma. And so, you know, a lot of people feel karma is punishment, but it's actually cause and effect for your actions or sometimes your inactions. So you could directly do something that causes suffering for others, and that's a direct, or, you know, that's a direct karma. You could be in a situation where you know someone is suffering unfairly, and it's due to your actions, but you keep doing it anyway, or you see it happening to someone and you don't do anything about it when you could. We have also indirect, which quite often is leftover business from our ancestors that they weren't able to clean up before they crossed the veil. And then we have the energy of the karmic spaces. And the indirect karma can also be from associations with friends, family, business partners, etc., that are creating karma. And, you being associated with that energy. This is a really interesting reading. It's talking, there's been something that's happened in you. I mean, there's always something in life. But it's really talking a lot about using your intuition, quieting your mind, quieting your emotions. That's been the main gist of the readings for most of the signs. We've only had the devil show up once, and I feel that's because Uranus moved into Gemini about a month ago, and that energy is going to be with us until 2033. And the last time we had that energy on the planet was 1941 to 1949, when World War II and the aftermath were happening. And so there's a lot of, the bottom line is, you can go back and look at my readings in the last month and a half, like for the beginning and middle of month, and you'll find more information in detail about that. But bottom line is that when when Uranus moves into Gemini, a lot of truth comes out. And it can come out in really weird, unexpected ways, and it can be really weird, unexpected truths. So that's, you know, and I also want to point out for you, Virgo, in case you're leaving the reading here, one of the main things that Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is about communication, and we have Mercury going retrograde on the 29th with the full moon in Cancer. And that energy is going to hit you because you're ruled by Mercury. That's really, you're probably going to be really feeling that. So will Pisces. Pisces is directly opposite you of the wheel. And so the energy, just be aware, you might be way more emotional with this full moon coming up on the 29th. But basically, I feel like the truth is going to come out about a situation, and whoever this, the reason why this Queen of Pentacles is missing her money, the truth is going to be found out about it, and that abundance will be returned to the rightful owner. So just be aware of that energy. And then we have, I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want clarification. This is this painting here. Well, this is actually an ink drawing, but it's been reproduced on canvas. And I did one, this is part of my Oracle Tales from the Vector. And I did this series of 12 drawings that are representing the energy of each of the zodiac signs. And I started this in 2007, and in 2020 I completed all 64 paintings. And we have, whoops, I meant to put these from the bottom of the deck. So just let me do this. This is from the bottom. Whoa, look who we have here. All right, okay. Maybe I should have just, well, it was going to come out anyway. So, wow, this is really interesting. Okay, so the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they are in my gallery in my website, talesfromthevector.com. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And I will put the numbers in the order that they appear in the reading here. This is how they're listed in the gallery on my website. So you can look them up. It might give you further clarity. We have denial here. What I don't know won't hurt me. Yeah, it will. It could hurt you, especially missed opportunities. And there's definitely something with this starting off. It's kind of like like it's not 100% promised here, and neither is this. And so this is like, you might be in denial about something that was happening here, and you're coming out of that. This energy could be, I'm getting this energy of counting your chickens before they hatch, that kind of energy. So it's saying, stay focused, stay in the game, don't get distracted, and not pay attention to what's going on. And we have the devil here on the intuition. So when the devil energy comes in, it's temptation basically. But the devil energy, you're not going to get the truth from it. And it's quite often backwards thinking, which is interesting because the word devil is actually lived, as in he used to. And so he has to get a minion to do his dirty work. And that energy is... you know, I always cover the devil because you're not going to get the truth from temptation. It's very manipulative energy, and especially when it's sitting on your intuition. I want to see who does the devil send in, or what is it about? I feel like there's an energy here that does not want you using your intuition. And we have the Wheel of Fortune on top of this. So the Wheel of Fortune is when it's saying that it's turning in your favor. But I feel that this is saying the devil wants it to turn in his favor. And so he's looking for a way of doing that. The Wheel of Fortune is like when God's plan is clicking into motion. And this is saying that the devil is trying to stop you from using your intuition and going inward and finding out the information from God. He's saying, hey, just let me give you the information. And in my oracle, the devil is a crystal adorned dragonfly that's very lacy and beautiful and shiny and on a hot pink background. It's very pretty. The devil's going to tempt you with something that is tempting, not with something that's ugly. The ugly comes in later. And so, yeah, this is talking about be careful here, because this devil energy is wanting to tempt you, to distract you from the path you're going on, and to cancel out what you're hearing here, what you heard when you went and isolated yourself. Oh, that must have just been a dream. That wasn't real. Do this instead. So be careful of that energy. And look at this. Oh, this is waiting here. So this is talking about a big transition coming. And look at, we have the death card again, and it's sitting here. And here it's in your dissension. There's, with friends like this, who needs enemies? There's some sort of, that energy is what we're talking about, this transition. You're supposed to be transitioning in this energy, and I feel this is saying someone in your inner circle wants it, and this is that devil energy. Don't listen to what God told you. Do it this way instead. It'll take half the time. It's that type of energy. We have Aquarius coming in here, and we're talking about Uranus. So this is talking about that energy of, Uranus moving into Gemini, and the truth is coming out about what happened to the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles, where are they? And then we have jealousy here. Jealousy is, an energy of, it's a karmic space we can fall into. We could be jealous of our own selves even. Sometimes people are jealous because of their own selves, because like maybe 5 years ago they were 20 pounds lighter and they felt they looked better, And jealousy can also definitely be coming in from energy of, this energy dissension with friends like this, who needs enemies. If you're swimming with sharks and they're jealous of you, they're going to attack. And this is coming in from this temptation. They want your destiny. Someone wants your destiny, or someone's want your destiny, because we have a lot of swords. We have a lot of thoughts. These thoughts can be the thoughts of other people behind your back, as well as your own thoughts. And same with this energy here. So this is sitting in your early life, like how you learn to communicate in early life. And this can definitely represent sibling rivalry. So if you're in a family business, or it's something, there's some energy of your inner circle, that there's an issue there. And then we have degradation of, so degradation is a tactic that people use. Degrade your energy, gossip about you, ruin your reputation, try and get your confidence, throw everything off for you. This is talking about, if they can get you, degrade your energy, then they can get what was destined for you, and that's what they want. They are attached. And look at this. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. This is, you have people in your inner circle that have been working behind your back to keep you in this mental anguish, because you don't want them to get in trouble. And in the meantime, they're doing everything behind your back because they have become attached to your destiny, and they are tempted to do whatever they have to get it. This is really, but see, the thing is, this is in your internal forces. If you give in to this energy, then you're going to be joining the sharks. So be very careful here. You went up to the mountain. You sat at the top of that mountain and you got the information you needed. Don't throw it away now. And then on this, we have the Lovers. And so this is talking about, definitely, this is saying someone that is in your life, that's a lover, someone that's very close to you, your partners, commitments, partnerships. And this is about that energy in your external forces. This is the overriding energy for external forces, what's happening from what's coming in. It involves a lover. Now, this could be this lover, the soulmate, or this could be talking about because you went up to the mountain, and if you follow this advice, you'll be getting this soulmate. If not, you're going to get stuck with this old energy that is supposed to be ending this transition so that you can have this instead of having this. They want to keep you here. Someone's very attached to what you have and what your destiny is, and they want it instead of you. Let's keep going here. We have pride. So this is sitting on partnerships, commitments, and spousal energy. This can be talking, this all or nothing energy. What do they say? Pride before the fall. So this could really be talking about someone trying to persuade you to do something. The devil's very good at that. Be very careful here who you let in your inner circle. But I feel this is talking about, now this could be talking about, this energy, commitment. Think about this: commitments, partnerships, and marriage. Think about people that you met when you were 7, people you met when you were like 14, people that you met when you were 21, under the age of 21, people in your inner circle, people that you maybe went to high school with, you met in college, that type of energy, or you met when you were starting out in work. So these people could be people you might not have even known them that well, but there could be people from that time that in your age that they might, this commitment, partnerships, and marriage might be to someone in your family. You know, an energy coming in from that time frame. So pay attention to that energy. I'm picking it up. Having the strength and the integrity to stay on your path takes courage, and that's what this is talking about. For that transition to be able to happen, so that that things are put right again. We have the shooting star energy. This is talking about, you know, that leakage that I'm talking about on this person on the stage. This is your base chakra. And it's basically saying, yeah, you can be wishing for this and you could be highly favored to get this, but unless you have a good attitude and you move forward in a strong way, you're going to be denied it. And so this is open your mind up to, you know, make sure you see what's really going on here. We have Taurus energy. And this is talking, look at that. This is talking about Venus. And I feel it's talking about that energy that we were talking about. And, you know, Taurus is a pentacle energy. And it's learning that give and take. It's sitting right on this here energy. Now, I want to point out when my horoscope signs come into a reading, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the sign. What can we learn from it? If you have your birth chart done, you'll see which house the different signs are in, and that could give you more information. We have surrender. And surrender is talking about, like listen to your, see, this energy is trying, I feel that the devil is trying to, this is saying the devil's trying to stop this wheel of fortune from turning. They want you to go back to this old energy, maybe this lover from the past. Sorry, Stella, I've got to get this card now. This lover from the past, and that energy, instead, you want to go for the new energy. And this is the card that fell on the ground here. And so I feel like this is talking about Sagittarius energy coming through. Now, this is about adventure, world travel, expansion. That's what the opportunity is. But the devil wants to stop you from having that energy. There's some sort of energy of that and being involved here. And when the horoscope signs come up, in your own personal reading, it could be significant, like these signs could be significant in your reading, but I want you to understand you need to use your intuition for that, because that's not my intention to single that out. Like it can't, I don't think it's possible that everybody is an Aquarius that's involved in this, or everybody's a Taurus and everybody's a Sagittarius. It has different meanings for different people. All right, I do hope you've enjoyed this energy. Stay on the straight and narrow, and the truth is definitely coming in. And the money, whatever this is that went missing from the Queen of Pentacles, every reading I'm doing, when she shows up, I'm asking, where is it? Because it's starting to irritate me. Like, it's coming up in all the readings. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, we're on it. All right. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for your likes and comments and subscribes. They're really helping me build my channel. I really appreciate them. Bye for now.